Hi, I'm Jamie, and if you're new here, then I'm really happy that you're here. And if you're not new here, then you probably already know that I am a felon and I was charged with a crime. and I talk about that all in my Jami Marie part two. If you haven't seen that video, I highly suggest you go watch it. I will leave it linked in the description box after this live for you to go check out. I would just highly suggest watching that so that you can kind of get the backstory. I'm not going to get into all of that right now, and I just want to talk about what I wanted to talk about. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know. People can see me, but maybe they can't hear me. I'm not sure. Someone like give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. These lives are always a nightmare for me. And I'm like 10 seconds delayed from you guys, so I like have to wait like 10 seconds for you guys to like respond. So I'm just going to keep talking until then. So this live is a Q&A. I posted on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram asking people to ask me questions about, the Department of Corrections, about prison or jail, also about, like my life now or the life I used to live, and I'm just going to be an open book and answer all the questions. I got some really great questions, so I just want to start from the top. Like the first person that asked me a question when I first posted, and I'm just going to go down the line and go from there. Let's find them. Here we go. Where are they? Oh my god. You think I'd be prepared, but I wasn't. I was just curling my hair like a freaking idiot. Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. Question number one comes from Kevin. I don't know if everyone wanted to be anonymous or not, so sorry. But this is from Kevin. He says, do you believe that incarcerating our way out of the narcotic crisis in America is the best way to stop it? Do you believe that incarcerating our way out of the narcotic crisis in America is the best way to stop it? No, I don't agree with that. I won't even get into the statistics with you guys because I could nerd out about that all day. But 50% of Americans incarcerated right now are incarcerated for a nonviolent crime. About 35 to 40% of those are drug crimes. And like marijuana, there's people sitting in jail right now that when weed is legal now, who got charged with possession of marijuana or whatever, and they're sitting in jail, prison, and I just don't feel like incarcerating anyone who's like on narcotics or I guess like okay, like I guess there's a line there, like obviously if it's like this big amount and it's like a lot and like obviously they're like a big guy and they're in maybe like a gang or something. I don't want to like name drop or anything, but you know what I'm saying. If it's like that, then I feel like I don't know. Obviously, that there should be obviously like a punishment, but I'm just saying like for like minor addicts or little guys who like get like caught with a bag of weed or like a little like 8 ball of coke, like any of that, like they just have a problem. They're not bad people, and like incarcerating them and just throwing them in jail isn't fixing the problem at all. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. There are so many girls I was in jail with who were just coming down, or they were withdrawing, or they are. And all you do is have time to think in there, and all you do is think about that. And it's not like you can't get it in there. You can get it in there too. It's not helping anything. I feel like there needs to be more programs to help people who want to, work the system. And then obviously, if you keep messing up, then that's a different story. But everyone should get that shot. And that, yeah, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep rambling if I don't stop. So let's go on to the next question. He says, do you believe that DOC funded treatment programs are helping? Or are they making people feel worse about the things they've done, thus spiking the recidivism rate? Okay, DOC funded treatment programs. I was in 2 of them. No, They're not working. In my state, I can only speak for my state and my situation and what I went through, and these are all only my opinions. These are not facts, but this is just based off what I've known and what I've experienced firsthand. And I went through two programs. I went through a 60-day treatment program called Passages. It's where they send women. That's like the lowest, like, punishment you can get if you get sent to, like, go to a treatment program. 60 days at Passages is like the lowest. Like, everybody wants to just do that, I guess, right? And then they have a bunch of other programs. They have like a 9-month one. They have a bunch of them. But that one, I did that one. And then I did 90 days in the men's prison boot camp, which they only accept 1 to 2 females every 3 months. And I was the only female in a platoon full of men. And even all the COs were men. It was very hard. I'm going to save that for another day, you guys. But all I have to say is, right now, the recidivism rate is the recidivism rate is 3%. 3%, okay? I am in that 3%. I am one of those people. I made it. I went through all of their loops. I jumped through every loop. I made it through everything they asked me to do. And I made it out on the other side. But these programs are not working because there are people in there right now who I was in 5 years ago that I was in with, and they're in there again and again and again. And there's only, like, for women, especially here in Montana, there's only like 2 programs they can send you to now because the boot camp got shut down, which is another story I'll get into because it has to do. But anyways, there's girls that are just going back and back and back. It's obviously not working. It's obviously failing, and the Department of Corrections really needs to figure something out. That's why I'm doing these kind of videos and I'm telling my story, is because this isn't working. It's just, they're not serious programs, or they're really serious, and then the women get out and they just feel ashamed and they feel embarrassed. And then, especially if you have to go to the 9-month program and then you get out and you're like a whole different person, and then they're like, don't go to people, places, or things, but then, like, you have nowhere to go. It's just it's a nightmare. They should have programs after those programs to help women into society, and not just like a pre-release, but I'm saying, like, actual people who want to help people and who want to put in their effort to, like, really help these women and these men, and the men too. The men don't make it either. I have a few friends who have gone through Nexus, which is a program here, and SMART, which is another program, and they've gone through multiple programs and they're still messing up and they're still going in. And I understand that that if they keep messing up, that, you know what I mean, I get that, but there's a point to where they should, like, take a step back and look and be like, wow, nobody's making it. Like, this is not working. Like, it's so frustrating. Finally, they did that with the boot camp. The boot camp was like a 1% success rate. 1%. And they were like, this isn't working, and they had to shut it down. But finally, thank God, because that program was a nightmare. But the other programs obviously aren't working either. Like, they need they need someone to come in and, like, really have experience in this and revamp and think of something for these people, And it's just, I can't. I'll go off. Let's continue on to the next question. No, I do not think that the DOC-funded treatment programs work. And they're just making it worse, for sure. Christina asked, in your opinion, are inmates treated fairly while in the system? And when released, are they given the tools they need to succeed? So this kind of bounces off of what I was just saying. Are inmates treated fairly? It depends. It depends on their situation. It depends, like where you're talking about. Like, in jail, are they treated fairly? No, they're inmates, and they are treated like inmates. And, if you run out of a roll of toilet paper, you don't get any more toilet paper. So guess what you're wiping your ass with? Your spare shirt. Like, don't get me started. Whew. But it's just not good. They are not treated like humans. They're treated like inmates. Numbers. We are a nuisance. So no, in jail, no. Prison, I've never been to, like, actual prison. I was in the men's prison boot camp, which is different. And no, I was not treated fairly, I guess you could say. But even in my case, I was never in trouble before I got into my accident. I had never had a felony before. I had never had any drug charges, nothing. Like, I've never had a drug charge ever anyways, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I was never in trouble besides a few minor impossessions and like a few speeding tickets. Never been in trouble, right? They gave me the maximum sentence. Maximum sentence, 10 years. They slapped it on me. So do I think the justice system is flawed? Yes. Do I think that people are treated fairly? No. I think that I was in the men's prison boot camp with a gentleman who, I shouldn't say gentleman, a pig, who, the R word, an 8-year-old girl. He was sentenced 4 years. 4 years. What? I was in a car accident, never had a previous criminal history. I get sentenced 10 years. How does that make sense? What's going on? Like, oh my God, like it doesn't, there's just not, especially here in Montana, I can't speak for other states, but in this state, and I've been through it all, you guys, I'm telling you, and what I've experienced and I know a lot of people who've gone through it too. I'm not the only one that feels this way. I can tell you that right now. It's bad. And no, people are not given the tools they need to succeed at all. You are thrown back in. You go through pre-release for 6 months, which is basically an adult fucking daycare, and basically wanting you to fuck up so they can just put you back in jail so they can make more money off of you. And if you don't fuck up and you surprisingly make it through that, which a lot of girls don't, but if you do, then you get put on probation, and probation wants you to fuck up too. They're going to do anything they can to make sure that you don't succeed. They are not giving you they're not there to help you. They're there to watch you and see when you're going to slip up so they can boot you back. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. And I'm not going to go off too much on that, but I'll get into that in another story. But no, they're not given the tools at all. At all. Obviously, it's not working. Aspen asked, do you think the stereotypes are justified? Like stereotypes of a felon? No. I think that there's certain stereotypes like the P word with the R word, stuff like that, maybe like stereotypes. I'm not really sure what you mean by the stereotypes. Like for me, I feel like the stereotype of like being a felon has this heavy weight on me. Like if I apply for a house, I have to literally, like what I've done every single time is I have to meet the person face to face. I don't like it when you have to like apply to rent a place and they just like email you an application. I don't like writing my story down. I like to talk to the person face to face. I like to see them so they can see me. And I'm like, yes, I had to mark that box, but it's been over 5 years. Like this is me. I'm a wife and I have a good job and I have kids. Like that does not define me. And like 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, I've always gotten the house. But it's just people have to meet me and see me, because if they were just to look at that paper without a face to it, without a story to it, they would just say no, and like that's where I feel like the stereotypes are wrong. For felons is we just get this bad rap. We get this thing like, oh my gosh, like even coming on here and to the internet saying I'm a felon is scary, because people are, who don't know me or don't know my story or haven't like seen Jami Marie part 1 or part 2 or aren't going to stick around and like hear the rest of my story. They're just gonna be like, oh my God, like I thought she was a makeup channel. I don't want to watch her anymore. Like she's a felon. I can totally see that happening. I'll watch my subscriber count tonight and see if I lose anybody. But I am not that person anymore. And I wasn't even a bad person to begin with, you guys. It was an accident. And I'll get into that whole story, but people make mistakes, and I made a mistake, and I grew from it, and I succeeded through life because of it. And I wouldn't be here today if I didn't go through all of that. So I don't like necessarily regret it. I regret some of the things that happened, but I don't wish that my life was different. Does that make sense? All right, another question. What would you say to young people who are taking their first steps on a criminal path? Knock it the fuck off. That's what I would say, straight up. I have 2 kids, and I'm absolutely terrified. They say that your kids are 2 times worse than you were to your parents. If that's the case, I am fucked. Like, fucked with a capital F, you guys. Fucked. Okay? So, I'm hoping to God that they learn from my mistakes, and I am going to be open and transparent with my children. I feel like that's necessary for them to learn. I don't want to shelter them and shadow them and not tell them my past. I mean, there obviously will be an age appropriate time to do all of that, but I'm not ashamed of who I am or where I came from, and I want my children to feel the same way. I want them to know that, hey, it's okay. Mom made mistakes in the past, and she's a bad bitch now. But I want them also to realize that they can't just make those mistakes and make it through because I'm one of the lucky ones that did it, and a lot of people aren't strong enough to do that. And you shouldn't make mistakes just to go through that journey. That's not worth it. But if I were to meet a kid, like even my little sister, she's 21, and sometimes she stresses me out. She likes to party and drink, and I get really, really like, ugh, So I get on her case a lot, and I tell her to knock it off, and I tell her to be safe, call an Uber, and I would just tell someone that their life is so much more easier when you are not committing crimes. Like, just don't do it. Your life will literally be so much easier, and not to mention so much cheaper because it's so expensive. The fines, the court fees, the restitution, thousands and thousands of dollars, okay? Do you got that dough? No, you don't. You're probably like 14 and think you're hot shit smoking weed. Like, knock it the fuck off, okay? All right, next question. What is it like to be in solitary confinement? I want to make a video on this, so I'm not going to like go too deep into it. My first time in solitary was so scary. Like actual solitary, like I got sent to the hole. For breaking the rules while I was in county jail. But it's really, really isolating. It's a mental game. It's not, it's just not, I don't feel like it's right. I think there's certain things like to protect someone, like let's say someone is the P word, a PEDO, you know what I'm trying to say. If they're that kind of person, and then they need to be put into solitary confinement for their own protection, because if they get put into a pod, they're gonna get shanked. They're gonna get their ass kicked. So I get solitary confinement for protection and also for punishment sometimes. Like I feel like if you're like in jail, you're not allowed to touch, and like girls will like hug each other sometimes, and if you get caught hugging somebody, you will get sent to the hole. Like for like 5 days. And all you get is a Bible, if you get a Bible, and you have to ask for it, and you don't get it for a while. And then when you do get it, and then you only get out 1 hour a day, 1 hour every 24 hours to take a shower and make a phone call, if they let you make a phone call. Sometimes they don't. But that 1 hour, you have to smash in a shower and make a phone call, and you get to watch TV out in like the little area, but that's it. And it literally, and sometimes they don't even let you out. You eat, shit, sleep, all of it in one little tiny area, and it really fucks with you. And I read a lot and tried to keep my sanity, but it can really toy with your emotions. Next question: do people of specific ethnicities or nationalities really exclusively hang out together in prison? From my experience, no. From all of the programs I was in, and even knowing some guys, like my older cousin, he's did 6 years in prison. In the men's prison here, a little bit, yes, there is a little bit of segregation, I guess you could say, like they segregate themselves, but for the most part, no. And here in Montana, it's really not like that bad. I can't speak for other prisons, I'm not sure, but from what I've seen on like 60 Days In and other jail TV shows, it does seem like it is like that. Here in Montana, it's not as bad, but from what I ever experienced, no, all the girls, any nationality, we were all chill. Like there was nothing like that. All right, next question. How do you feel about the death penalty? Whew, this is a deep question. Some of you guys might not like me after this, but just know it's my opinion, and I have my right to my opinion, but I do agree with it. But there's a but. Only for like extreme murder cases and RAP, all that. Okay, like I feel like heads, they should get. Don't I just I'm not even gonna go there because I could go off. But I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I don't agree with the death sentence if like the trial is like kind of iffy or like I don't know. Like I feel like if someone like slaughtered people, yeah, you deserve to die. Sorry. If you hurt a child and or killed a child, yeah, sorry, you deserve to die. That's just me. Moving on. What good can come from having been in jail? Well, right now in quarantine, what's really good from me doing my time is I know like how this is. I was trapped inside for a a year and a half, so I'm kind of used to this. Like this is my element, I should say. Like it isn't anymore, but like I kind of fell right back into it. Like I'm used to being here. I'm used to not being able to go outside. Like that's kind of like helped in a way. Also, the good is for me personally is my empathy for addicts, for other felons, for people who are struggling, and even for like COs, people who work in the jails and the prisons. I have so much empathy for all of those people. I cannot but judge a book by its cover or even its backstory. I can't, and I choose not to do that anymore. I used to be a judgmental bitch, and I'll talk about that. Excuse me, sorry. I'll talk about that more in upcoming videos, you guys, but it really changed me for the better. I used to be a conniving cunt, okay? Like straight up, just a capital BITCH, like the Mean Girls, okay? So jail woke me up. Next question. What was the first thing you did when you were released? Well, I wasn't technically like released. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. I wasn't technically released. I was put into a pre-release center, so it's like a place where they put everyone to do like 6 to 9 months, and you have like curfews, and you can just have to sign in and out, and they give you pee tests and breathalyze you every time you leave and come and go and blah 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 blah, right? So I didn't get like released. Like they didn't just open the gates and be like, my God, like I'm free. It wasn't like that at all. But I once I got to pre-release, I was really excited because I got to like wear normal clothes. I was like, oh my God, clothes! Like you don't realize how much you just like missed wearing normal clothes. And then you like put normal clothes on and they like feel weird. And you like put shoes on, and you're like, oh fuck, this is so weird. But the first thing I did when I left the pre-release, because I had to stay there for 7 days before I could like leave on a pass, and then I got like a 2-hour pass, and I got to go be with my boyfriend at the time, and we went to the movie theater, and we just like hung out, and I just like liked driving in the car. Like driving in the car was like a trip, okay? Like everything was just so trippy. Like I actually have a story to tell you guys. Like when I got released, I'd convinced my boyfriend, because so we had to take a bus from Passages to the pre-release I was going to, which is like a 4-hour drive. So they would put us on a bus. They made sure we got on the bus because we're a bunch of felons getting released to head to pre-release, right? So they like make sure you get on the bus. Well, I had convinced my boyfriend to have his friend drive him to where I was at and drop him off at the bus station, and then his friend was going to drive his truck, and he got a bus ticket so he could ride on the bus with me. And I got in big trouble for that, but they can't stop him. Like it's a free country, you know. He was like, I bought my bus ticket, like I'm just riding this bus. Like they really couldn't do anything, but they were a little butthurt. And then they thought I was gonna like escape or something and like leave. They were like, watch Jamie, like you know. But they didn't ride the bus with us. But like when we showed up in Butte and got off the bus, those ladies were standing like right there, like, bitch, you ain't leaving. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I just wanted him to ride 4 hours with me. And he had like clothes and snacks, and you know, I was just like so excited. Anyways, I'm rambling. Sorry. Let's see. Next question. How has being in prison changed you? I think I touched on that a lot. It's changed me for the better. It's changed me to just become the woman I am today. I literally wouldn't be this human, this woman right now if I didn't go through all of those things. It's shitty the way I had to find myself and find my faith and find, my life, but it is what it is. And I'm here now, and I'm really happy that I was able to be strong enough to make it through. I was able to be that 3% recidivism rate and make it through. I mean, it's insane. I can't believe that it's only 3% and all these people are just going back and back and back. And I'm so blessed, and it's changed me for the better. Like, I can't, I don't fuck around anymore at all. Like, it's been 5 years. I don't play games. Like, if you even start to, like, make me question that you're an idiot at all, I'm like, sorry, honey. Like, I can't. My best friend Aspen can attest for that. She, like, knows I'm, like, no play games kind of bitch. But that's why she's, like, literally my only friend. I think I have one more question. Let's see. This guy. He said, "Do you think that the government is lying to us? Do you think the government is lying to us?" Yeah, like, about what? All the time. Like, duh. Like, they're not going to come up and tell us everything. Like, look, like the aliens, they didn't tell us about the aliens because, look, they came out and told us about COVID and look at how we reacted. Of course. Like, yeah, they're always lying to us. Like, but that's what they have to do to protect us sometimes, because we're fucking crazy. And then we'll go buy all the toilet paper, like all the tinfoil, and make tinfoil hats, and we're fucking nuts. So yeah, the government's lying to us. I'm not going to touch on that comment any more than that. But okay, guys, that's all the questions. I'm done ranting. It's been about 26 minutes. This is kind of a long live, so I'm going to get going. But I'm really happy that you guys were here and that you watched my live. I'm going to leave it up so other people can come and watch it, or if you, like, came in halfway, you can go back and watch. But I really love you guys. I'm really glad that you guys asked me these questions. Shout out to Aspen. You're the best. I love you. And yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this live. I'm going to go. My kid is still awake. Yeah, he won't go to bed. For real. Oh my God, I'm probably, like, my video is going to be taken down because I did that. I don't really mean that. It was just like a figure of hand. I don't know. You can't say figure of speech because I, like, didn't make... And anyways, I'm losing it. All right. I love you guys so very much. I'm gonna go, and thanks. I'll see you guys on Fuck It Friday. And I might go live again next Wednesday. I really like doing these kind of lives. But anyways, let me know if you liked this live, if you liked this. Make sure to go check out my Jami Marie Part 1 and Part 2 if you missed it. All of that cool YouTube jazz. If you haven't subscribed and you're here just creeping, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the comment page, like, and then obviously that big bell right next to the subscribe, like, hit that. That way you'll know every time I go live, every time I upload a video, all of that cool stuff. I'm gonna go. My husband is looking at me. I'm gonna go. I love you guys so very much. Mwah.